Hello, welcome to a resource that I found, as well as a lot of other people have found, to be incredibly helpful. Hello, this is being presented by www.resumeforcomputerjob.com. I want to present to you a resource that is so helpful and so detailed when dealing with resume design and resume revamping issues, particularly in the IT field. Whether it be anywhere from computer programmer to network analyst to business systems analyst, all the way down to computer technical specialist, hardware specialist, or even computer buyer or computer supply chain. This product is absolutely awesome, and I want to take time to present to you just how helpful it can be for you if you're looking to design your resume. Maybe you're re-entering the job force, or maybe you just graduated from a technical program college or got your first set of certifications and you want to enter the IT field as a career path. And with that, let us take a quick dive through all the available information in this guide, available at www.resumeforcomputerjob.com. Looking at the table of contents as a guide for the types of questions and types of topics that are discussed within this document, you'll see he makes it very plain. Mr. Rich Arden, the author of this particular presentation, ebook, he'll make it very plain in the first section why this is not another resume book and what you are to get from this book, which is a definitive guide for anyone who's looking to get into IT or considering IT as a field to build a resume that will not only impress those who are reviewing it, but it'll also get you the interview that you're seeking. As we continue, we will see that he also mentions the anatomy of a IT resume that succeeds. He goes into the header, the power statement, the summary, certification section, experience, technical skills, education, and other optional sections. He tells you how to build these sections one by one so that you have a resume that wins interviews and gets you employed. He also goes into the high impact resume. Once he gives you the anatomy, he shows you an example of how you can use this, or multiple examples of how you can use this particular format to get a resume together that will win the job. Then he answers some commonly addressed questions as well, such as how many pages, what is an effective objective statement or job summary statement, depending on what school you came from when you designed your resume originally. The critical question, I think, is chronological versus functional. Basically, when you're dealing with an IT resume, do you want something that focuses on what you did or focuses on how you evolved? As well as some formatting tips as well. He also talks about formatting being only an idea and there's not a hard set rule as far as format's concerned. You have to get into the book for him to fully flesh out the ideas to you, but basically what he's trying to convey to you is that some situations garner certain styles, but there's no hard set rule for either style. Next, he goes into the resume header, and he starts to talk about how to draw up a resume header that will draw in the gatekeepers to read your document, to intrigue them, to bring inside of them a want to explore your qualifications further. Crafting a power statement. How do you craft a power statement? What is a power statement? And here are some examples as well on how you can do that effectively. Next, he talks about qualifications, how to make an effective qualification statement, how to summarize your technical qualifications as well as your non-technical qualifications. Not every IT job is 100%. You have to understand PCs in calculation or Mac in calculation or Unix, etc., Spark, etc. There are times where, and usually it's the case, where you have a technical component and you have a social component. And if you can emphasize or bring into your resume your experience with customers, with people, dealing with actual clients, as well as bring in or bridge it to the technical side, which is here are the actual technical skills I have. That sells you a lot better to any gatekeeper than just the plain Jane, I know all these set of skills, I have all these technical abilities, and I have all these certifications to back that up, which is what the bulk of gunk is out there. If you can just get section 7 down to a science, I'm not even talking about the whole document, just get section 7 down to a science, you will have created something, a document that will put you at the top of the pack just by itself. Because now you have shown that you are a human person who can technically work. And that's a disconnect that's been within the IT field since the inception of its birth. He goes into apprising your experience by using action verbs. I have in this video series, if you go to my channel, How to Write a Resume, I will show you through my videos a list of action verbs and the importance of action verbs. Here he goes into more detail in terms of what action verbs you want to use, particularly for software development or programming jobs, or system or database administration, or a technical admin job. Next, he goes into how to enhance your resume by using quantitative facts. Numbers sell in resumes. Let me be blatant and say that. I've used that so many times to such a good avail. When you're building a resume, it's a sales document, and sales is a function of ROI, R-O-I, which stands for return on investment. For that reason, you have to quantify or attempt to quantify how much of set skill have you used, how much has it brought back, and how many times have you done it. That sells your resume because that allows the gatekeeper, whether it be, and when I say gatekeeper, I mean someone who is reviewing your resume as well as a bunch of them in a pile to see who passes, who fails, as well as, well, in addition to that, you also want to look at how well can you use numbers, and when you do that, like I was saying before, it will allow you to flesh out a value. Basically, if you've done something 10 times with 100% profitability, and in this organization you're interviewing for, the job pays $50,000 a year, and every time that particular skill is used at 100% in this environment, it averages a profit of $100,000. That means to them you're worth $1 million for $50,000. That sells you a lot better than just saying, I can do it, or I have done it. So numbers are important. It talks to the selling of your credentials, how to sell your training credentials, professional credentials, more credentials, how to build a resume that will work. We want to build a resume that brings in eyes, that brings in looks, that people want to actually read, as opposed to a resume that just sits there and collects dust. Now, there are some secrets to showcasing your IT skills above and beyond everything we just told you. I'm only on section 11 of 18. This is a great document. And for $30, if you can afford the $30, I say don't wait, go get it. I have it. I've been using it. I've been in the IT field right now probably about 10 years. And let me tell you, this document really helps. It really shows you, specifically for IT people, it shows you how to build a resume that works. Most guides will show you how to build a resume or how to use general techniques to build a great resume, but there's nothing here that will show you how to build a resume that works. You want to build a resume that will show who you are and what you can do. And we go into buzzwords, achievements. We go into top-notch resume without IT experience, how to get into the IT field from the start. You're transitioning. You're going from an IT job or non-IT job, let's say. You're going from sales, marketing, you're going from administration into IT. How do you get in? How to build a resume Now, when he says resume cheating, what he's referring to is he's referring to how to build a resume that allows you to upsell, basically. Upselling is the concept of, I'm not the greatest IT person, but I do these things very well, because those play well in niche positions. There are some bridge positions that are very hard to fill because people who are hired don't fully understand both sides of the fence. The bridge is lopsided. It needs to be even on both sides. By selling yourself and your skill set, whether it be specifically technical or non-technical, you are keying in on these niche positions, these bridge positions, and he shows you how to do that. How to distribute your resume effectively. Once you build it, how do you get it online? Most books just tell you how to build a resume, a text one and a Word document one, which is the most common format, or a PDF version of that. And they tell you how to build it and how to use keywords. They don't tell you where to go. He talks about the Go network. This is very important. If you're unemployed, you should be networking right now. You should be talking to anyone you can, letting them know, I know IT skills. How can I serve? How can I serve? Service brings results. That's a business concept that works in anything you do. Service builds results. Your local network, or your international network, or your national network. The numbers game and how it applies to getting a job offer, and how to deal with your persistent nature, or how to build a persistent nature such that you will get the job. And I'm not even through the table of contents yet. I haven't even begun to get to the third page of table of contents. This is power packed. You will not find a book in the bookstore under $30 that will give you all this information. You will not. I have been searching for a long time to find a book of this nature, of this caliber, that will build a resume and a cover letter for me. Because look at my videos. There's cover letter documentation in here when you get the resume guide. I honestly think he's not charging enough for this, because you got to figure the rule of business is 1% always works. So you figure if the job is $50,000 a year, which is not possible in IT by a long stretch, even in an economic downturn, $50,000, 10% is $5,000, 1% $500. So this is worth more than $500. The fact he's charging $30, I wonder what he was thinking when he did it. I'm glad he wasn't talking to someone else, because someone else may have talked him out of charging $30 for this information. It's power packed. It's directed. So if you're in IT and you need a resume together, or you have a resume that you're not sure of is getting the results that you need from things you cannot see from the gatekeeper's perspective, or you're not getting the interviews, you need this document. Go to http://resumeforcomputerjob.com and get this today. Trust me. And if you don't, keep in mind that someone will. And if that person applies for the same job you apply for, it's more than possible they'll get the job and you won't. So by not having this knowledge available to you, you're only making things harder for you. Again, www.resumeforcomputerjob.com.